So this is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC, joined this week by Tommy.
Hello.
And back, he's gotten enough rest. The first week of teaching is done. We got Mike.
Like Eric Bischoff's WWE thing, I'm back in black. I'm back and better than ever.
Yeah. Back.
All right, maybe not better than ever.
Sorry, that's what I actually is. I can't lie. One of my favorite themes.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was a really good theme. It really was.
As much as I hated Eric Bischoff in that era, I couldn't lie. I was like, when his music hit, I was like, "Damn you and your catchy theme."
We got a lot to discuss. I think there's a big event going on this weekend. I'm not sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, football starts the week after, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, but college football. Well, technically already started, but yeah.
If you check the dirt sheets, something is happening this weekend. I think it's a really quiet, private show. I don't know who's on it. I don't know who's running.
No one cares about it. It's obviously not going to sell out or anything.
Yeah.
No. I think like 5 worthy names are on it. Maybe. I can't tell.
You sound like all the WWE stans that don't know any better on social media. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. B Ninja Steady, Burnsy, we see you guys in there already ready. Yes, B Ninja, you were first to talk about EmPowerrr and everything. B Ninja, I agree with you. I think Mike and Tina would as well. Teachers will be better once Governor Abbott is out of the office. I agree. We're not getting into political discussion here.
I mean, probably technically my boss, so I refrain.
Yeah, anyway. Our Twitter, as you can see just below Tommy, at CCG_WrestleCast. Today, we're going to give a little quick recap about NWA EmPowerrr, an all-women's show that has gotten rave reviews that happened this past weekend, and AEW All Out, arguably the biggest all-out event, and quite frankly, the biggest event in AEW's history. This Sunday.
I was just going to say that. I was like, this might be the most important show they've done to date.
Yes. Hands down.
Hands down.
And the funny part is when Cody did All In so many years ago as an independent show, and someone told Vince McMahon, the story goes about the weekend they're running, and Vince was like, oh man, they should have picked a different weekend. We never drew in September. That was like the worst month for us.
I remember that.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, Cody, like, just the idea that Vince would have helped him. I don't think Vince would help him now, but they've made Labor Day a good resting weekend in Chicago. That's basically what they've turned it into, and it's pretty damn awesome. So,
but why should Chicago be so special with this? I don't know.
We'll see, right? So if you're joining us in the live chat, Brandon, especially you, because I know you watched NWA EmPowerrr. I haven't seen the full show yet, but I've seen a lot of results, as well as the stuff that happened at NWA's 73rd anniversary. But Brandon, if you want to start typing in, let us know what you thought of EmPowerrr. We can read some of those comments. And when we get to AEW All Out, we're going to be going through the matches, making our predictions. Join it right along with us. Let us know your predictions. And if you're catching us not live and later on, you're free to comment and let us know your predictions as well. Let's see how well you do. I will let you know that my wife Tina, who's not on the show today, she actually did make her predictions for this because she is looking forward to seeing this show this weekend as well.
Okay.
So, you know, she's finishing a third week in the school year, so she's really looking forward to a 3-day weekend and watching a pretty good wrestling show. So, so let's jump into it right now. NWA EmPowerrr. When you're getting positive comments from, I'd say across, to use the lack of a better term, across the aisle, if you will, from across the forbidden door, where women are starting to acknowledge, all parts of wrestling, acknowledge how good this show was, you know you did something right. And we have been saying it since the first Evolution. There needs to be another all-women's show. TNA had done it prior when they did a one-night-only all-women's show. And NWA with Mickey James executive producing. By the way, happy birthday to Mickey James today.
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, yes. And Ember Moon, right? Wasn't her birthday today too?
Might have been.
I think it was today also.
I
Yeah,
think so.
they're pretty close together.
They are.
But this show has gotten rave reviews. No major title changes happening at all. But we did crown a NWA World Women's Tag Team Championship. Allison Kay and Marty Bell, a.k.a. The Hex, defeated Red Velvet.
Today's her birthday, by the way.
Ember Moon. Happy birthday. And Kylan King won the NWA World Women's Tag Team Championships. That was the finish of a tournament. They had the semifinals and the final.
Allison Kay and Marty Bell.
Yep.
Hex.
Deonna Purrazzo retained against Melina.
Their Hex works on me, let me tell you.
One of the surprises of the night was seeing Kong return to make a save on Gail Kim and retiring right afterward, which is kind of appropriate. You know, she ran into some issues after her WWE run. She had a personal health issue. And for me personally, that was one of my all-time favorite Gail Kim feuds, programs, whatever you want to call it, around the Impact or TNA Women's Knockouts Championship. To see them have that moment at Kong's retirement, I thought was pretty awesome, pretty special.
I have no problem saying it has been the best women's feud of our lifetimes. Like, legit, it was amazing. It was at a time when WWE was, not taking women seriously. Gail Kim famously, when she was in WWE, eliminated herself from a women's battle royal because they said, y'all got like 2 minutes to do this battle
And
royal.
nobody noticed.
Under the rope, they were still doing under the rope.
Yeah, because the divas can't go over the rope.
I swear to you to this day, I was watching it when she did that. I said, what the hell was that?
Yeah,
I didn't know until later what was going on.
So, that feud, it's iconic. I mean, I know you're a big Gail Kim stan, and I usually make fun of you, but no, like it.
I like how we're using modern youth terms. That's why you're a teacher. You keep me up to date.
I mean, that's the only reason I know things because I teach high school.
but along with that, I just think it's cool because Awesome Kong really doesn't fit the mold of what a typical female wrestler looks like.
Mm-hmm.
For WWE.
Well, WWE, yeah.
Yeah.
But like she to me, she's like for like Aja Kong or Bull Nakanos who just broke those barriers, and honestly, you could also argue those were some of the most brutal women's matches of that era. Like mean, you can't tell me that they were just beating the snot out of each other every match, and it was like whatever, because like Kong to me was like that actual super powerful force that couldn't lose. So whenever she did get pinned, it was an actual big deal. Like it was like something major happened. So they definitely set that standard. It was super bittersweet to see because it's like, no more Awesome Kong, but at the same time, she's put in her work, so it's all good. It's just bittersweet for me. I wish she'd go a little longer.
People forget she actually did MMA when she was in Japan also, so she actually did both. And it does suck because after her WWE run as Karma, which had something going on, and then she got pregnant, and then had a little bit of a tragedy with that. She came back for like a Royal Rumble appearance, so she's one of the few women to appear in the men's Royal Rumble match.
Phoenix in China.
Yeah.
Nia Jax.
Oh, Nia.
Yeah. Which, by the way, you know what? We might as well address it now. For what happened on Raw, yeah. Look, I don't mean to turn the NWA discussion into what happened on Raw, but if you ever want to talk about a role model for plus size women in wrestling, it is not Nia Jax, and my wife will confirm this. Came out of her own mouth. Because I'm sorry, look, I'm not saying there have been so many great role models for plus size women in wrestling. Kong is one of them. Nyla Rose is another. Hell, Piper Niven, I really don't want to call her Dewdrop, but Piper Niven is a great example. But Nia is just so unsafe, and to the point where she literally almost injured Charlotte last night. So I don't blame Charlotte for getting up throwing hands. She's old school like her dad, So
yeah.
But I'm just gonna say, I just want to say she's not the best example if somebody wants to keep her around for that reason. So
all I'm gonna say is happy birthday, Ember Moon. Send our regards to Matt.
Yes.
I did see that tweet, but I had forgot about it until you showed me that video, and I was like, he did tweet that. I do remember that.
Mike sent us a Reddit post of a video in our group chat about a guy that just displayed all the incidents where Nia Jax has injured somebody. And
higher numbers than I remember.
yeah, and it involved a tweet from a certain wrestler known in Texas. And if you find the video, you can see it for yourself. But I'll just say his tweet is pretty damn accurate. So
he's a monster hunter now.
yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, back to NWA. A great weekend. I said this after Evolution, and I'm going to say it now. Evolution should have become an annual show. They missed that opportunity. Ninja agrees 9 needs to go. If WWE is not going to do it, and Impact hasn't really made the steps to do it when they should do it, they have a women's division to do it. I like the fact that NWA did this. They brought wrestlers from all over the world. They even did like a triple threat match that was AEW, NWA, and AAA promoted. I really hope Mickie James sticks around in NWA to do this every year. This would be something amazing. This would be something that women all over would want to be a part of. So.
I'm sending a shout out to Tootie Lynn and Masha Slamovich because I saw clips of it. Like I said, I'm behind on the full show. I saw clips of it and they did awesome, and I'm super proud of them because Tootie Lynn was like, this is all she was talking about on her social media for weeks going into this, and I'm so happy for her. Masha Slamovich was, I think, doing her kind of semi-heel thing of like saying, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna win type deal, but she's still, it was super cool to see that. Layla Hirsch and Camille though, fam, like, I want part 2. I legit want. Part 2.
There will be somewhere.
I need this to happen.
There's got to be.
Fam. I need one more. Is what I need. Like,
how about Camille pulling double duty on the weekend because she not only beat Layla Hirsch, she had to defend the following night against Chelsea Green, who won a gauntlet match, and defeated Chelsea Green, and then Mickie.
Interested. She'll be at RCW in September 19th.
There we go. And Mickie James actually did wrestle on NWA's 73rd anniversary and beat Kylie Ray as well. So these shows are part of Fight TV. You can go search for them, look for the NWA. You can buy them now. I think they're still. I don't know if they're still doing the bundle for $40, but I know EmPowerrr was $25. NWA 73 was $25. Yeah.
A friend of mine did the bundle, so I don't know. I know he said he can still watch both, but I don't know if they're doing it anymore.
Yeah.
And I also want to, just defend Kylie Ray because people suck. And Kylie Ray, I'm glad she's okay. I'm glad she's wrestling again. And I'm sorry that you have to deal with these pathetic jackasses who don't know that mental health is a real thing. Those are the same people who want everyone to get over elections, but then get mad when someone they don't like wins, and then also want Simone Biles to suck it up. You know what? All of you can kick my ass.
Yeah. Well said. I think we all agree. We all agree.
Also, real quick, back to when you made the comment earlier about Evolution should have been an annual thing. Mm-hmm. I never understood either because you have the network. Like, they didn't have to worry about pay-per-view buys. Like, everyone had the network for everything else. Just put on a show. It was no different than when they would do the specials from, the NXT specials, or sometimes they would do special shows that they would. You've got the network. You don't have to worry about pay-per-view buys. Everyone has it. They have it. Just promote it, tune it in. Like, I don't. It made no sense.
It's another way to sell subscriptions, which they were focusing on for so many times during the first few years.
Yeah.
Brandon says Tootie showed up for that show at her hometown. I wish she would have won.
It would have been nice, but I get why Chelsea Green won it. I really do. I mean, it would have been nice, but I get why Chelsea Green was the winner.
I should also mention a big congratulations goes to Trevor Murdoch. He put his career on the line and beat Nick Aldis to win the NWA World's Championship. So
when you want to talk about a shocking title change, I was legit surprised. I was like, you know what? Hats off to him. I saw clips of that too. It was a hell of a match because that was like the one match aside some others on the 73rd show. I was like, I gotta see what they're gonna do here. I gotta.
Is he in? I don't remember because I know he was in WWE a long time ago. Is he in real life or kayfabe related to Dirty Dick Murdoch from the '80s?
Good question. I really don't know.
Because there's also a similar I assume that's kind of the vibe or a similar vibe. I know he's kind of a little more
similar vibe. I don't know if he's related to him though,
or if that was supposed to be the kayfabe thing when he came in.
I'm checking.
Because my love for early '90s WCW.
Right.
And I just remember Dick Murdoch and Dick Slater were like old veterans at that time, but they brought him in, and they would just like fight the Steiners, and it was awesome because it was like what we think of shoots now, but they would just like stiff the hell out of each other. Good times, man. Good times.
I haven't found anything that says he is, but I think that's just the
definitely an influence, and yeah, I would say I would
for sure.
I'm sure. Brandon says he's still shocked that Murdoch won. So
I think the entire wrestling community is.
just because Aldous held that title for so long, like the only blip on that title run was when he dropped it to Cody at All In, and then got it back basically.
Yeah,
you know?
it back.
Yeah. So
someone pointed out it's like it's not like it's a slight to Aldous to lose anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's like at this point, how much more faith can you put in a guy? It's not like him losing the belt now is something like, oh no, they've lost faith in Aldous after 2,000 days, fam? Nah, dude. He's tired. He wants to go home.
he needs a little break. Wants to spend more time with his hot wife, Mickie James. You know, can you blame him? So yeah.
Not at all. I was gonna say other than that blip with Cody Rhodes a couple years ago, where Cody wrote it, won it temporarily, then he got it back. This dude would have crushed Walter's
run,
NXT UK run, the way he was going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. All right. Go check out NWA EmPowerrr if you didn't see it. It is still on the Fight TV network. NWA 7th anniversary was a good show too. And with that, let's jump from what would be on Fight TV to what's going to be on Bleacher Report Live, and that of course is AEW All Out. You know,
that's the show that's this weekend. I completely forgot, man. I couldn't think of it.
I honestly cannot decide what is a bigger show at this point. Is it Double or Nothing, or is it All Out?
Yes.
I know that AEW is still so young in its history, but I think that's the beauty of it is there actually is a build to where these shows just seem to get better and better. Whereas in WWE, it's like, okay, Rumble, they build to WrestleMania, we go down. We'll build to Money in the Bank down, SummerSlam down, Survivor Series, and then it's down. You know, it's up and down. This is like a constant build, you know?
I think that says something to the aesthetic of only having 4 pay-per-views a year.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think WWE would benefit if they pulled some back, not had as many. Just have some special Raws or SmackDowns, and just keep it that way. Honestly, we could go like 3 podcasts long of what WWE could do to. Let's not go down that road too far. And that's.
Oh boy.
I agree. By the way, I think. I mean, don't get me wrong. The every month pay-per-view, especially when WCW and WWE were starting to go at, or WWF at the time. But I do think cyclically it's come back around to we don't need one every month. Mm-hmm. Especially when they're just gimmick now, and the gimmick doesn't always make sense for the feuds they're doing.
Or now because they're going to Saudi Arabia again. And the interesting thing about that is that they actually put literally Crown Jewel pay-per-view on it. And they haven't put the terms pay-per-view on the logos for things. But they have it like that on Crown Jewel for some reason. But anyway.
Do you think that local school that we know about is going to allow someone to go overseas and then come back without quarantining? Do you know how that works? Or
I highly doubt that.
Are they going to have to virtual school for a couple weeks? Or
I mean, probably, just to be on the safe side. But
I'm assuming he's getting involved in going over, considering what happened and where they're going with it.
Yeah, most likely. All right, well, let's stick to All Out here. If you're watching with us live, make your match predictions along with us. This is going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to start right now with the pre-show. This is something they call the buy-in. It is an all-women's, 21-woman casino battle royale.
I hate these.
You do?
I'm sorry. I love the match. I hate picking them.
I know.
Wow.
Let me rephrase that. I'm sorry. I love the match. I hate trying to pick it.
So, as you guys know, there's 21 people involved. everyone's gonna pull a card, like basically from a deck, or like not really from a deck, but 5 people will get spades, 5 clubs, hearts, diamond. Yeah, kayfabe deck. One person gets the Joker card, and so every 5 minutes or so, each group is gonna come out. The Joker card goes last. It's basically an over-the-top battle royal type thing, and the winner is gonna get a future shot at the AEW Women's World Championship. You can watch this on Bleacher Report Live as part of the show, or you can also watch it for free on YouTube, AEW's YouTube, starting at 6 o'clock Central Time. So,
I have my fingers crossed for who I hope the Joker is. So.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to make some picks. This is like the wild one. This is hard. This is the difference between pulling a Tez sometimes and not.
Jack should have 90 days. You can't get that.
No.
Sorry.
I will note.
God, that was so funny!
I will note that Tina is making picks with us this time. She's not on the show, but she is picking Thunder Rosa to win this and get a title shot at, as of right now, it stands to be Dr. Britt Baker if she defends against Chris Statlander. Now, Brandon basically already spoiled what I think is going to happen. He thinks he said Ruby Soho is going to pull the Joker, and either her or Thunder Rosa might win. I'm going to say right now, I'm going into this picking Ruby Soho to win the Battle Royal.
Have y'all been watching her vignettes?
Their vignettes are insane. They're crazy.
Those are super cool.
I like the first one where she's listening to the radio, or once she gets in the car, she hears her WWE theme music and just mad starts punching the radio. I thought that was hilarious. So,
but also, go ahead.
I was gonna say, anyone who doesn't think she's attractive, you also kiss my ass. So
Also, the last one was really cool with all the spray paint.
Yeah.
And it was like Love Less with the side. And then it was the riot is over. So the riot is, I was like, oh man, just like, I don't know, it was pretty cool. Here's the thing though, guys.
What's that, Mike?
Like you said, the winner's going to face, right now it's Britt Baker. Britt Baker's in a weird place because they're trying to make her heel and nobody wants to boo her. Like, I know she was in Pittsburgh, but Chicago loved her, Milwaukee loved her, and like I've become a huge Chris Statlander.
Statlander.
There we go. Yeah, I'm considering adding her to my multiverse list of ex-wives, like Tommy likes to talk about. But
I love how I created this thing.
Yeah.
Statlander kind of gets booed with Britt Baker, like Red Velvet did.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to face winning. I mean, you think it would make sense, but they're gonna get booed against Baker if she's still there. I don't know. It's weird to me.
See how they promote it. I mean, this is the hard part about now is you got to get creative with it and how you're going to work it. So yeah.
It's kind of like how they got creative with her going heel in the first place. It was like before they used to boo her because they just thought she was terrible.
Yeah.
Then they booed her because she was legit heel. And they cheered her for pretty much the same reason because she actually got her heel over so well. It was amazing.
He's kind of Becky Lynch in a sense. Like, not obviously the exact same character, but they finally realized you worked so hard and you earned this. So even trying to be a heel, they're like, nah, it's cool. We're going to cheer you. We like you.
Yeah, the reason Ruby's name is coming up is because officially today, her 90-day compete clause is expiring. On the women's side as well, there's also CJ Perry, a.k.a. Lana, and Santana Garrett. Of the WWE releases that happened 90 days ago, that included Malachi Black, but it was only 30 days.
I don't think he'll be the Joker.
No, I don't think so, obviously, but just saying that they were part of that group of 6. So, but yeah, those are. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a CJ Perry appearance. Why not? Just to see what kind of reaction she gets in Chicago. But I do think Ruby's going to win. Mike, you said all that. Where do you think they're going to go with this?
I mean, there's also 9 more women to be determined.
I know.
But I know you went with Thunder Rosa, and I like that idea. Except, I did see that there were reports that they're going to come back to that feud early next year. So I'm actually going to go out on a limb with Ty Conti.
Okay.
She's been getting a lot of momentum. I think she's getting real popular.
I see that.
Also, I don't know if she's ready to come back. I kind of hope Anna Jay can come back. I don't know if she's there yet.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anything about her yet.
But I like that pairing they had going, and they did that thing was it on the first Rampage? I don't know. In the last couple of weeks, where I think it was the Bunny or Penelope Ford from Hardy Family Office offered her to like leave the Dark Order because Dark Order is going through some stuff right now.
Right.
And Ty Conti said no, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. But I think I'd like to get her at least see her in a title match and see how she would do with that on the big stage.
Okay. Let us know if you're watching, guys, who you think is going to win this Battle Royal. So Tina's gone Thunder Rosa. I'm going Ruby Soho. Mike is going Ty Conti. And Tommy, what about you?
Just throw a curveball and say because she's there, Emi Sakura, because she already made a big deal on her Twitter and everything about coming to America, leaving Japan to do AEW full time. And I think if you want someone who is not really face to face a not really heelish person, who's Emi Sakura is the best person. She has experience, so I think that'd be just great for Britt Baker. Period. Someone will get booed, and Emi Sakura won't give a good damn. So
That's the way you look at that.
So and plus I think it'll happen on like a special Dynamite. They'll probably build a bigger feud up for Full Gear.
Right.
So I think that'll make sense, and and I just like Emi Sakura. The fact that she said I'm gonna go to go to America full time increases the possibility that I could beat her. So so purely selfish reasons, people. Purely selfish reasons.
Of
I
course.
have a problem with that.
Nobody wanted to go Ivelisse or
Ivelisse? No.
Ivelisse?
I don't think so. Comments. Brandon thinks Ruby is going to get the Joker, as I mentioned. He said Tim and Mike when you made that joke earlier about Nia Jax not having 90 days. Let's see. He says he's met Ruby twice. She's amazing. Statlander was a heavy metal at some point. She's amazing as well, but don't see her win the title yet. He says fans just love heels now, too. We wondered about why that is. So
I think the people legitimately do hate him, like actually.
sounds like he's thinking either Ty Conti or Big Swole. For Britt to get her win back. So would love Swole to win it. I think eventually she will. It's just not,
I think she
for personal
will
reasons.
eventually.
Yeah.
I think she needs to get back some momentum and start getting going again.
She's
still in this feud with Diamante right now. So.
Yeah, and she's slowly getting her strength back. I mean, she had the flare up earlier this year, the Crohn's flare up that's impacted her. I feel you. It sucks. So that is where we're standing right there. We'll move on to the first singles match. Now, I don't know the order of the matches. We have a pretty good idea what's probably going to finish the show. But I'm kind of, when I put these together...
White and QT Marshall, obviously.
I'm kind of going...
That's the money man.
When I talk about it, I was putting the matches together and what has titles on the line and what doesn't. So we'll talk first about Pac versus Andrade El Idolo. With Chavo Guerrero Jr. in his corner, by the way. Interesting. Tina is going with Andrade. Tommy, where are you going with this one? These are hard, I know.
It is. I don't care. I'm picking Pac. I'm picking Pac, damn it. I don't care. I don't hate Andrade. I legitimately do not. I like the guy. It's got nothing against him, but it's like, I want Pac to win some shit now. Jeez, man, I think out of everyone in the whole, a lot of guys have driven on the pandemic, but every time his thing gets going, it's like, you don't gonna act right in America. The poor guy can't get back over here. It's like, jeez, people, you're messing up Pac's run, and that's like my biggest problem.
Mike, what about you?
This match would have been like fire in NXT 5 years ago.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Andrade only because he just came in. But I agree totally with Tommy. I need Pac to get back on a run, but you did just bring him in, and you did. We'll criticize AEW when they deserve it. I think they botched the Andrade introduction. The way it was kind of awkward with Vicky Guerrero, and it wasn't really as big as some of these other intros have been. But I think he's been really good since then, and the character development has really grown.
This is where I say AEW is going to correct their course, because I do agree. I think they're bringing him in was wrong. Like, and no offense to Vicky or Andrade in that sense, I just don't think they've
Well,
worked
it's not
together
even
really
Vicky. It was just the random, like, I'm talking, oh, by the way, here's Andrade El Idolo. And the people were kind of booing her, so they couldn't even completely hear. And they were like, oh, like, they were like, oh, Andrade's in the, oh, wait.
It was kind of the footnote of a promo when it should have been such a big deal.
Which is weird.
And
but, like, you're right. They've brought it back around and made him a big deal.
That was a miss.
Yeah. It works better, and it sucks that this happened, but obviously Thea Trinidad went back to WWE thinking her husband was going to be there a while. That's the main reason she went. And obviously, had she known what was going to happen to Malachi Black, Aleister Black, she probably wouldn't have re-signed, and for all we know, she probably would have signed with AEW to make a proper introduction of Andrade, because it works so well when she's in his corner. So,
part of me always wanted a feud between them again, but this time with like everyone knowing that they are married, and just like see how they play with that.
Make her the guest referee or something like that. That could be fun.
Or something like that, or just have her ringside, just like who she supports. Like,
but I'm actually going to go with Andrade. I think a lot of this build is going to come. It's going to come to the fact that he damn near took the title off of Omega and AAA, and I think that sets up a run here in AEW where he's going to try and get back to Omega to get that title. So that's why I'm going with Andrade. Yeah, you're lone wolfing this one, Tommy.
No.
However,
I feel you though, Tommy.
Brandon is going to go with Pac because Andrade can handle one loss to someone who needs a W, is what he says. So, yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if I was wrong. I'll say that.
All right. Well, I don't think this will be on the main event as Mike said earlier, but Paul White versus QT Marshall.
Look, no more BS. Do you get it? Because BS also means Big Show. All right, come on, man.
I'm not gonna lie. When this was announced, I was thinking, I don't know how I feel about this because I feel like Paul White's a great mentor. But yeah, we get to see him back in the ring, maybe for like a here and there. So, Tina, I think, is going out on a limb, but she's thinking QT Marshall wins this one.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna have the factor in his corner, so yeah, that's possible. But I'm going with Paul White. He's not gonna wrestle often. I would love to see him win as himself rather than like a Big Show kind of thing. So I'll go with that. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Paul White. I feel like it's just a fun little thing. I'm sure the factory will try to get involved, and I feel like he'll kind of knock him off. And he's the Big Show, right? He just does a big. I don't know. Does he still do a punch? He's gonna choke slam now. What does he do?
We'll find out.
I think he's gone back to the choke slam because he did that to Aaron Solo, but then again, Aaron Solo kind of got shoved into it, so that's kind of
yeah.
So.
And Tommy, your pick.
I'm going Paul White.
Okay.
I mean, I see the factory getting involved, but I don't know. It feels like that. To be fair, they haven't given this feud like a ton of like TV time. They've given it some, but it's not like they've spent every waking moment on it, which is cool. So
yeah,
I think it'll be an interesting little match.
B Ninja says this is the bathroom break for him, so that's his poor guy. All right, you hear that, Paul White? Make sure they don't miss that, right? You know, so. All right, in a match that Tommy is probably gonna have to pick last because he's gonna be so undecided on this one. Jon Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima.
All the names of Japan he could have said. There are so many of the third generation he could have said, and the name he picked was Satoshi Kojima.
All right, well, Tommy frets over there. Tina's going with Moxley. I'm going with Moxley as well. Mike, what about you?
I'm going to go with Moxley, too. I mean, obviously, I think it'll be a good match. I think it'll be, because I know Kojima is older, so I don't think it necessarily...
He's 54. I don't look like him at 33, and he's 54.
So I don't think it looks bad for him to lose. And I think in the end, even though Moxley's kind of in an interesting character place right now, people mention after Punk's debut on that same Rampage, he kind of made a backstage. He did a backstage promo, kind of insinuating like they're bringing all these people in, and I've been carrying the show. So that laying seeds there. But I think they'll kind of do a respect thing afterwards. After which should be a pretty good match. But I'm gonna go Moxley.
All right, Tommy, moment of truth.
Go ahead, Moxley.
All right.
Because at this point, really, it's like I just decided to look it up real quick. It's like, Kojima's won the Triple Crown belt in All Japan. He's won the IWGP belt twice, the NWA World Title. He's even won the G1 Climax. A loss to Moxley here does not hurt his legend at all. So it's like I'm happy he's there, because I think I'm not gonna. I refuse to say this is one of his last runs. I refuse to say that because guys in Japan don't do last runs. They wrestle until they are actually in the grave. Like when Liger did his retirement match. Everyone he's ever wrestled showed up. so I just think he's probably gonna wind down a bit after somewhere after this, but I'm gonna go with Moxley. Plus, I think this is for Moxley to build up challenging for the U.S. title again against Tanahashi at some point.
B Ninja's also picking Moxley. He also says, "Wake up, Tommy." At least Mox didn't say Nicole Savoy versus Trish Adora.
Okay, first of all, that match is going to happen in Texas. And if anyone steals that match from me, I'm suing. I've been campaigning for that for 6 months, and everyone can go back and see my tweets about it and know that I'm telling the truth. I've been
He's 100% correct.
For 6 months, and no one will book it. I need to win the lottery. If I win the lottery, that is literally the first match I'm booking. I'm not even remotely joking.
Tell RCW you'll start a GoFundMe.
All right.
I promise I'll be quiet. I think Brendan will do it anyway.
Now, the fourth match on the main card we'll mention is obviously being in Chicago, the most anticipated match of the night: CM Punk versus Darby Allin.
CM.
You're funny.
Pick magnet.
Oh,
Cookie Monster.
That guy, the guy who runs Samoa Joe. I remember him.
Oh my gosh, you guys are great.
Hello, he wrestled Kevin Nash that one time.
We'd like to talk about that.
No, that doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Anyway, the seeds for this were planted. Obviously, when the rumors came out, CM Punk had signed, and Darby Allin made the whole, if you say you're the best in the world, let's do this. And then Punk laid the challenge down when he made his debut at Rampage in AEW. So,
he shut down the city of Chicago.
Yep. Definitely shut the whole city down. So, this one is going to be tough for anyone to pick, myself especially. I'm wearing the damn shirt. The guy sent me a cameo, but this is Chicago, and a guy's returning after 7 years.
And he's training with Tommy, and he's training with Malachi Black. So
yeah,
in my mind, that gives him a slight advantage.
B Ninja says he's going with the Brooks that is named Phil. Funny, I like it. Now that being,
I'm sure he'll love that. Just say that to him.
I am gonna pick CM Punk, but what I hope for out of this is that Darby Allin is really gonna make Punk work for it. Obviously this is a lot of ring rust for Punk. It's 7 years away, but he's gonna put it all on the line in Chicago, in his hometown. I want Darby to go out there and just kind of steal the show. This is obviously the biggest match of Darby's career. And when you have this guy come back and calling him out first, it's amazing. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, that being said, in the future, I want to see a Ricky Raby style entrance in AEW because, my God, that was the most hilarious thing on Heels episode 3. I know Mike hasn't seen it. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Tommy.
I haven't seen it yet, but
okay.
Someone else told me about it.
Oh, my God. The entrance is hilarious. Come on, give me the Rick Rabies is all elite graphic for AEW. That would be crazy. So
I saw the backstage of him putting on the makeup for that, and I couldn't stop laughing at that.
3 hours. 3 hours to cover all his tattoos, what he said. So, but as far as the match he had on the show, he did wrestle Stephen Amell's character, and they actually looked like they worked a great match. So Stephen Amell can go. Like, they actually did work a match and everything. So, so I'm picking Punk. Tina has also picked CM Punk. My cat appearing here, you probably would pick CM Punk if you could talk.
I don't know. He's a saboteur.
He might be picking just randomness, 2.0 or something.
Yeah, he walked in you guys are talking about CM Punk again. Jesus Christ! All right.
Hey, look, he did leave. He's like, oh my God.
What year is this? 2014.
He's like, if I hear that name one more time in this freaking house, I swear to God.
Tommy, who are you picking on this one?
I gotta go CM Punk, man. Because it'll be the swerve of the century if Darby Allin wins, and not because Darby doesn't deserve it. He's been putting in the work, but it's CM Punk.
Yeah.
What I kind of hope happens is like for no reason, like I know it won't, but it'd be like hilarious if like if Punk wins and for no reason at all, Kenta just runs in like he did to Naito at the end of Wrestle Kingdom that year and just beats the crap out of him and just like looks at the Chicago crowd like no, you don't get to celebrate.
He won't do that. Sting is standing outside, and we know how much AEW heels fear Sting. So
Yep.
I know that going
The New
on.
Japan heel.
Oh,
Mike, what about you? Where are you picking?
yeah. I mean, I got to go CM Punk. Like we were talking a little bit off air, I think Darby Allin is a great starter match. Not only because it's Darby Allin, but you don't really have to have a technical wrestling match. I mean, Darby Allin's all about brawls as much as he can. And not saying that Punk can't, but we kind of talked about a lot of times when guys come back, their first match isn't always a solo match, right? Like Shawn came back from his injury, he had a street fight. Edge comes back in a Royal Rumble. You're not stuck one-on-one, having to wrestle. And this is a one-on-one match, but with Darby Allin, he can bump a lot, he can be thrown around. I think it's a good place to start. And Darby Allin, like you said, is the kind of guy that it's not going to hurt him to lose to CM Punk. And Punk's going to put him over afterwards anyways, in some way or another. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Punk to win the match, but, I think they'll both come out looking great, hopefully.
He put over Britt Baker, and he's never been in the same ring with her.
Exactly. Put over Thunder Rosa on Twitter.
Yeah.
We were talking about that, too.
Mm-hmm. Pretty amazing stuff. I like that he's always had his finger on the pulse of wrestling, even though he's been away. He knows who out there's been good. So, now this one has been a long time coming, and this is crazy. MJF versus Chris Jericho. Jericho's career is on the line. This has been built up for so long. Jericho went through all the labors to get to MJF, lost. And I'm gonna. Tina's going with Jericho. I'm going to come out and say it. You don't have a guy come out with no entrance music and have the whole crowd sing his entrance music a cappella. That's just legendary. And I don't think Jericho's ready to be done yet. I don't think anyone's ready for Jericho to be done yet. So, no crazy stipulations other than the career being on the line. I think Jericho finally gets one on MJF. And I know some of y'all that might have just started subscribing to us and liked the Countdown City Geeks Facebook page have recently caught on to us because of a MJF picture from a couple years ago where he mentioned he doesn't play Dungeons and Dragons, and Joe Magagliano says, "Well, I do," and that just blew up, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Like, this guy was like, "It's MJF," who in my personal, thank you, Steady, for that. But in my personal opinion, and I'll say this, I'll put him up against any in wrestling right now. I don't care what company it is. MJF is the biggest heel in all of wrestling right now. Hands down. And I would put that even over Roman Reigns. And it's, Roman, okay, Roman's been a heel. He's been a champion for over a year. Great. Congratulations.
For Charlotte Flair?
Yes, even so. Because Charlotte will still go out and still be nice and sign autographs. MJF's going to be an asshole to you if he sees you in the freaking airport. He keeps it kayfabe no matter what.
I talked about this last year. You say he's keeping up kayfabe. I think the guy may just be a genuine a-hole. I think he might not be kayfabing this. I think he's just legitimately a jerk.
This is fine. It works great for wrestling. He's better than you, and you know it, and it's awesome. He goes and does TV interviews at local TV stations, and girl tries to touch the scarf. He's like, "Yeah, don't touch the scarf." He can be a face, but he can still be an ass at the same time. It's so good, his character, and he's able to adjust that. And what he's done with it is so amazing. Being interesting to think MJF needs to win this. I don't know if he does.
I don't think needs is the right word.
Yeah.
The only thing that throws me off is it's like because they had their matches. And MJF keeps going over. And in theory, Jericho's whole point is to help put MJF over, which he has done.
Yeah.
But I just think it would be weird to get to this last match now, and then Jericho gets it back. Because honestly, the Labors thing, I thought it was over after they did their Blood and Guts match. And he did that, and then they came back, and Jericho's like, I can't let it go. I got to keep try and not that I don't like Jericho, I love Jericho, but it just seems like a weird story to tell.
Right.
To put over MJF the whole time, and then actually give Jericho the last win. So I don't know. I'm actually going to go MJF, and we know retirement in wrestling means crap.
Really nothing.
So he may be going to commentary for a while. He may be going on tour soon. He'll be back, even if he loses. That's my thought.
I could see that, but they have so far held Cody to his word that he won't challenge for the AEW championship.
Yeah, but at the same time, they've been around for 2 years, and Cody hasn't officially gone heel because he still thinks he's a good guy, even though he's heelish. We'll talk about that.
That's a slow burn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tommy, who are you picking on this one?
I'm going Jericho, even though I think I heard he is going on tour anyway. But I am going Jericho. I feel like the build up on this isn't so much to give him like the big win. I think it'll just kind of be like, even if he wins, MJF will probably put him out anyway. He'll after say Jericho wins with a roll up or something, and afterwards,
deadliest move in wrestling.
Hey. If all goes according to plan, Mr. Small Package could be debuting at the show. So
yes,
I will
forgot
never
about that.
love that nickname. I will never not love that name.
That is a great callback.
The first sentence he ever said it, I couldn't stop laughing, and I was like, yes. I don't care what man this thing goes up for the rest of his career, he will always be Mr. Small Package to me. Anyway, but
not to Brie Bella though. But.
Well, what? 2 kids now? 2 kids.
Yeah.
Now? So apparently not. It's false advertising. Anyway, but I just think it's this stipulation is just kind of to raise the stakes a bit. But but the loss hurt MJF. I just think it'll give him more to complain about. Honestly, so that's why I think if he loses, he's just gonna bitch and moan and just say, "I beat him all those other times, and blah 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 blah, and I threw him off the cage, and he wouldn't leave me alone, and Tony Khan would maybe keep fighting him." So I just think if anything, he's just gonna bitch more.
And that's just him shooting. That's not even the promo they give him.
No. I mean, MJF doesn't lose very often, so
And I can't imagine writing a promo for MJF. I really can't. Who the hell would put themselves through that? Tony's like, hey, can you write a promo for MJF? You mean, can I go ask him what he wants to say? Sure, I'll be right back. Here you go, Tony. Here's MJF's promo. These just words. This is a transcript of what he said. Yeah, here's MJF's promo. And even he will stick to the script, I guarantee you. See you later.
I would be shocked if MJF won because I don't think Jericho's done wrestling yet. I think Jericho's going to keep wrestling as long as DDP Yoga's around. Because, he's got that in his back pocket. I think he loves it so damn much.
It's not a real retirement. Ask Terry Funk about retirement.
I know, but still, that would just seem so final to me. It would be crazy for them to do this.
I can't believe I'm actually the one picking MJF.
So is Brandon, too. So it's not just you, but of the ones on the show, yeah.
I'm also shocked, though, that you are picking MJF.
I'm the one who thinks it's not kayfabe at all, but I'm actually the one picking it.
Tina loves MJF, but she can't pick against Jericho's career at this point. I don't think she knows. I don't think she thinks it's ready for him to hang it up. So
what has Jericho done? Kidding.
You guys mentioned Mr. Small Package, aka Bryan Danielson. At what point are you thinking he's going to show up?
There are 2 points I can think of.
Okay.
After the world title match, after CM Punk's match. It's the only 2 times I can think of. To me, he can just show up in the middle of the show and still get a absolutely nuclear reaction. Mm-hmm. I think if he showed up after the CM Punk match, just that iconic shot of them shaking hands again. This will be the 3rd company that they shook hands in. Before or after a match, whatever, it would be iconic because, the shot of the first time I remember when they first feuded with each other, they did the Code of Honor thing.
Yeah.
And then someone superimposed the pic. They photoshopped it where the picture of them in ROH shaking hands and the one to be right next to each other.
Yeah.
The second that happens in AEW, someone is already has both those pictures in their Photoshop literally right now. They're waiting for the screen capture they can get. of All Out, so they can immediately throw it in. It'll be on Instagram before it's a full 30 seconds afterwards. And I promise you that, because I'm going to be on Instagram looking for it immediately after they shake hands.
I'm also pretty sure that at some point, especially back in their indie days, Punk and Bryan pulled a Rocky and Apollo Creed and just went to some wrestling gym and went, let's go, ding, ding.
And they just froze like that, too, you know, said the promo.
And everyone's just looking at them, and they're like, what are y'all guys doing?
They froze with a collar and elbow tie-up.
Yeah. And everyone's just like, why did they stop?
And they did it one more time, but this time Samoa Joe was there, and then they were all three of them. And then a fourth time because Homicide was like, "You assholes! Why wasn't I in the freaking ring with you?" Like, damn it, D! Fine, you can come with us next time.
We're doing this Falls Count anywhere. Yeah, we know where you want to go, Side. Okay, we know.
All right, on to the title matches here. TNT Championship, Miro defending against Eddie Kingston. Yeah.
Jeez.
How fun is this going to be?
A spite. I am expecting no technical prowess whatsoever. I have never seen. Like, even, what was it, Friday on Rampage?
Yes.
Eddie Kingston had the mic.
Nope. Yes, exactly. Oh, I loved it.
That was one of my favorite wrestling moments ever. He's like, I was like, wow. At the time, Eddie Kingston didn't want to cut a promo.
Tina's going with Miro. I'm going with Miro. Wouldn't be surprised if his wife shows up as well. You know, if she's not on the Battle Royal at the beginning of the night, she might show up here and have something to do with this match. So, Tommy, what about you?
I'm going Eddie Kingston. I refuse to ever give. Okay, because I look at it this way. Kingston does not need a title to be over. I think that is vastly clear at this point. He is a locker room leader. He is one of the go-home guys who can send the fans home happy. He absolutely does not need any kind of title belt to be relevant in AEW. He proved his stock a year ago and has done nothing but rise since then. I also think he's one of the few guys who can actually take a punishment from Miro and keep coming back for more. And I think if nothing else, this might be like one of the hardest hitting fights on the whole show.
Yes, without a doubt.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so I'm giving it to Kingston. I won't be surprised if Miro wins. I really won't be. But I'd be down to see a Kingston title reign. Like, even if it isn't that long, I'd be down to see him with the belt.
Okay, and Mike.
I'm going to go with Miro because I think he's on a good run right now, and I think they're building up. But like Tommy said, this match is just going to be fun to watch. Fun for us to watch, probably really painful for them to be in, but, you know, that's what they do.
Can't lie, when they said that Miro was calling out Kingston, and then when he finally did on Rampage and we got the match, I can't lie, I was like, okay, I was already sold on this pay-per-view when they said CM Punk is there. I could not say yes hard enough if we're getting a Kingston Miro match, because I think now this is what one of those guys, like with Lance Archer, is one of the guys Miro can hit hard, and it's like, okay, so do it again. Like, so you gotta keep hitting me, bro. I'm not a jobber. You can't hit me once and knock me out, dude.
Also, does anybody else feel like Miro's promos are just a response to like everything being so scripted from WWE? Like the things he says now, the character he's going for, I just kind of feel like he's just like, I can say these things over there, so I'm going to say these strange things about being God's favorite champion and my flexible wife. And I'm just like, all right, I go with it.
Honestly, I feel like the God's favorite champion thing is him kind of like, you know, because like as a Christian, it's like when you hear stuff like Christians say, you're like, that really doesn't sound all that biblical. So he's like doing the thing like, you know, like it's like, hey, other Christians get away with this. I'm gonna go ahead and say this as my wrestling character. And of course, you know, the super hot wife thing. That's pretty accurate.
Yes, it is.
All right, what is sure to be a violent tag team match. The tag team championship's on the line. Young Bucks, Lucha Bros in a steel cage. Wow.
This might be my personal show stealer, honestly. I am
very much so.
Hyped for this match.
Tina's picking a title change. She thinks it's going to be the Lucha Bros coming out of this with a win. I'm going with the Young Bucks. I'm really enjoying them just being dicks. It's just like pretentious cocksuckers when they're doing this whole damn show, and it's so funny. It really is. So I'm going with the Young Bucks to kind of keep this. Just be so arrogant as the way they are. I think it's fun. But the Lucha Bros are definitely it's going to be close. I mean, in a cage, who knows what's going to happen here? Mike, what about you? Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tina. I think it's starting to be some time to see some little flaws in the elite in that group. Kind of, and I mean, we've seen this match so many different times, but now in the steel cage, like I don't even know how many flips they're gonna try to do on a super deluxe Melting Driver Supreme 94 squared
95 South.
R-Truth shows up just to name it.
Yeah.
Like it'll be great.
I still want R-Truth to show up in every wrestling promotion.
Oh
Honestly,
god, that would be great.
I always want him to get released so he can go into every promotion and just be like, hey, I'm looking for Roman Reigns. Dude, don't work there anymore.
Like
this is Impact. Oh.
If R-Truth does that while
Impact.
If R-Truth does that while he's in a contract with WWE, then you know the forbidden door is definitely opened at this point.
Oh god.
So
You just said that. I just need him to come down during that Moxley Kojima match and be like, Ambrose, where's Reigns? I want him tonight. And be like, no, bro, that's no.
I want Moxley to pull him aside. Come here, bro. It just whispered his ear. It's like, where?
All right.
Oh.
But you know what would be great? But he's like, but he could just be like, no, but I saw Big Show, and I saw Mark Henry, and CM Punk's here. Like, it would actually be such a great thing.
It would be great, and he'd be like, damn, all of them got fired. Everyone, my bad.
All right.
What was Miro's WWE name?
Rusev.
Rusev, thank you. Just be like, Rusev. All these guys, I saw them. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Long story. Tommy, where are you going on this steel cage tag team match?
I'm going Lucha Bros because I
Wow.
also think like I was thinking maybe we would start seeing the cracks in the elite armor as well. And also it's because I think honestly they've gotten one over in Lucha Bros so much in the past to be the one time they would do it. And I also like the Eliminator tournament was like them trying to pit the Lucha Bros against Jurassic Express, and even though Jurassic Express they were showing each other still a lot of respect. Part of me wants to believe that Jurassic Express is going to help out Lucha Brothers and Christian Cage against the Elite. Like, just like, you know, I mean, you already have the Elite Hunter, Frankie Kazarian, which is, by the way, is like my favorite name ever. So
it's cool, but they need to let him be better at his job or what he wants to do.
I agree with. I do agree with this.
If you listen to the guy who does Botchamania on Cultaholic, he laughs at them because it's like he always shows up late or he gets beat up, and it's like you're supposed to be the hunter. Or he only gets over on like Brandon Cutler and Nakazawa, Michael Nakazawa.
Yeah.
Like but yeah, like I like the name too. I think it's really cool. I just think they need to give him let him be better at it sometimes.
I agree.
Yep. Yeah. All right, on to the AEW Women's World Championship. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is defending against Chris Statlander. Obviously the winner of the buy-in Casino Battle Royale is going to be watching this one because they will get a title shot, whoever the champion is coming out of this. So, Tina's going with Dr. Baker. I'm also going with Dr. Baker on this one too. She's having a great run with the title. I'm really enjoying the character. Whether they're trying to make her heel and it's just not working, I think it's still enjoyable. So,
yeah.
Mike, where are you going with this one?
I'm going the same. I'm going with Dr. Britt. Like I said, I've become a big Chris Statlander fan. Like I said, looking to add her to the alternate universe ex-wives club. But yeah, Britt's, like you said, CM Punk put her over in his first lines in the company.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no reason to take it off.
I think of it, like the first thing out of his mouth was putting her over. So
yep.
You really know how to make a guy feel like Britt Baker in Pittsburgh, yeah. I think she needs to run for a while, and that way, the woman who does beat her, it becomes a big deal, right? You push Baker, you push Baker. She's made herself a star now that the fans love. When she finally does get beat, it's going to be a big deal. So I think it's down the road.
That's kind of like for her when she took off Ricardo Sheet in the first place.
Yeah.
And Tommy, where are you picking on this one?
Britt Baker, same reasons. It's like and nothing against Statlander. I think they'll have a hell of a match, but I think Statlander is probably one of the ones that'll give her one of the best contests. Like, you know, that'll be like, you know, they had a good build going in, but I also think, kind of like what Mike said, is like when someone does beat her, it's gonna be a big deal. Like it might even be like a huge program, like going in of like, you know, she's beating all these people.
Under Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be great because that's that history. I actually wouldn't mind seeing like a long program where like they kind of go like back and forth with beating each other, because AEW, thank God, doesn't do the same match every freaking week. Sorry, that's a personal trigger for me. So even if they trade the title back and forth, it would be like months in between. So, you know.
Yeah.
Tanahashi and Okada. Yes, I worked that back into any conversation because of his wrestling related.
No, you not at all.
Just seeing this comment from Brandon. R-Truth, that type that thinks that RN stands for real. I'm not going to say the last word, but real ninja. How about that? Real ninja. Yeah, there we go. Be ninja. Yeah.
No, he probably would. Probably would.
All right, main event most likely. Even though depending on the reaction to Punk and Darby, we think that could be the main event.
I don't know.
Nah, they're not WWE. I think they put the title on live.
Yeah, that's true. Kenny Omega defending against Christian Cage, the current Impact World Champion, I should mention. But obviously, it's just the AEW title that is on the line in this match. Tina is going with Christian Cage.
Really?
Mainly because she loves Christian so much. But she, you know,
I
if he pulled this one off, that'd be insane. I would agree. But I'm going to go with Kenny Omega. Cage has got one. I don't think he's going to take the other, you know. So I'm going to go with Omega here on this one. Tommy, what about you?
I'm going Omega because I'm still thinking that they want to, you know, put it on
Hangman.
Yeah, Hangman.
Yeah.
Because it's like and again, this is where I like, you know, people like, you know, they don't get wrestling when they say this. Like you can't compare what Christian's been doing in AEW to like guys like Goldberg or Lesnar, as far as like older guys coming in. For one, Christian's full time. For another, he's been wrestling since he debuted, more or less, and this took like essentially 6 months to build up to, you know, a proper wrestling program.
Right.
And it's like, and to me, it's one of those things where, I think they're gonna go even harder than they did on Rampage, and that match was fantastic. I honestly think they couldn't have started Rampage as a show with a better match than that, because those guys went so hard in the debut. The whole first show was great, but I think that was like during, you know, TV time, so you don't only have so long. But now it's a pay-per-view; they'll probably have more time, and it's Christian and it's Omega, two consummate wrestling professionals, and Don Callis being a dick in the corner. What more could you possibly ask for in 2021 of pro wrestling? This is a great era we're living in, and I refuse to let people ruin this for me. Christian Omega 2, I'm here for this. So,
all right, Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Omega 2, but I mean that first match they had on Rampage was great. I think sometimes people forget how good Christian Cage is, and I get why he has often, you know, gone away from WWE to kind of get away from the WWE shadow of him and Edge. You know, in TNA, same thing. He's a world champion, comes to comes AEW in the world title picture. Like, he's really good, and that match they had on that Rampage was amazing. But for the story, like we said, I do think long term, I know the plan was to go to Hangman. That's, I think, what they want to do. But now throwing Punk and Bryan in there also makes it kind of interesting. But I mean, I do think for this match that Omega is going to keep the belt.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing about Christian and why he moved away from WWE is because for whatever reason they've always stuck to the idea that he's kind of in Edge's shadow, whether Edge is there or not. He was brought in as the younger brother of Edge. He's never had the talent that Edge has. You know, it sucks because when he left WWE, you saw just how good he really is. Yeah. And, you know, he went back and they put him right back into the role he was before. You know,
not only that, there's a lot of stories that Vince McMahon just doesn't like him.
But
Like,
why? It just doesn't
something
make
about
sense.
his personality, or there's a joke. I know some of the guys have told stories on podcasts and stuff. I think Stone Cold's even told this one where like Vince threatened to like put a blue dot over Christian's face on TV or something. It was some funny stories they would tell. But yeah, like there's always kind of been this thing that Vince just doesn't quite like him that much. But I don't know.
Makes no sense to me. Then why'd you sign him again? So.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't get that. And to me, it's like, and I do love the fact that it's like it's not hate between the two of them, like Edge and Christian. It's like I think Edge probably feels the same way. It's like, why can't he get over? He's really good, and it's like, and you can tell there's no personal animosity from Christian because he keeps using the spear. If he honestly hated Edge, he would never even reference that.
Oh, I still think they're great friends. It's just
Yeah.
And also it's the same with like him and fans. Like I don't get the stigma. It's like because from a fan standpoint, you can't say he's not as good because you've seen him wrestle at this level. He's the first, and honestly to me, it's a big deal. He's the first guy to pin Kenny Omega in just shy of a year. And yeah, the win was suspect, but then again, the Young Bucks kind of did that themselves, so who cares? But it's like the guy can wrestle. He proved that in TNA/Impact, and also that's why I like when he went back there with the Impact World Title, like how he said it was surreal for him to hold that belt again and be in that ring because that's when he first got to really show the world he can go on his own.
Yeah.
Because even when he was on his own, when they separated them in WWF at the time, they still made him like subservient, like he wasn't as good, which is pretty messed up. It's like you can, you can be a comedy wrestler and still be good. I mean, Mick Foley did Dude Love, didn't make him any less good. It just made him like kind of funny at the same time.
Yeah.
So if nothing else, this could also be a potential like from a technical standpoint, show stealer. I mean, maybe we'll make the fans stand up and cheer in 5 seconds. But from a technical standpoint, this could be like a blueprint for wrestlers to watch. It's like when wrestling schools will be like, hey, watch that Omega cage match if you want to know how to get the crowd involved in the main event because they're both that good. I'm not at all because like we said, even whether this does or doesn't main event the show because of the Punk and Darby Allin thing, it's a main event regardless. And it's going to, it's going to feel like a main event because of the two guys in it. And once again, they built Christian Cage up to be a legitimate threat to Omega. So
yeah. Well, that is AEW All Out. Looking forward to this Sunday. We'll have all the details on how you can watch that later on in the show towards the end. So stay tuned with that. Want to quickly mention the Ring of Honor Women's Championship Tournament. We are down to the semifinals now. A couple of results from over the weekend. First off, Angelina Love defeated Max the Impaler in quite the hilarious match, I might add, via DQ. Basically, Max, if you didn't see the match, was putting Angelina in a chokehold over the ropes. Was kind of choking from the outside. Didn't release after the 5 count, and that's how she got DQ'd.
Well,
and
she was probably taking out her. She probably got her rage from Twitter.
Yeah.
they were messing with Maxi Pillar bad on Twitter, and I was like, do y'all realize this woman could like legitimately eat you and none of us will save you? I hope you realize that because I ain't coming to save you. Like, you're just going to be dead, bro.
I just like the way you said in a kind of funny match, and then you're like, and she was choking her over the top rope and wouldn't let go.
It sounds weird, I know, but just Angelina's like being scared and everything was pretty funny. And Max is like just this monster character and everything like that. It was pretty funny, but I could see
like the way you said that.
I could see this becoming some sort of a big feud with Ring of Honor with Angelina Love and Max down the road. I hope that comes to head in the next round because Angelina's wrestling Roxy. So the other quarterfinal that was left, Trish Adora defeated Allison Kay. Great match.
I'm so conflicted on that result.
Beat her by pinfall, I know. So now the semifinals, which are this weekend on Ring of Honor TV, Roxy against Angelina Love and Miranda Elise against Trish Adora. The winners will face off at Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor to crown the women's champion in Ring of Honor. So pulling for Roxy, we'd love to see it. It's pretty amazing because I believe 3 of the 4 here have never held a major women's championship in any company, if I'm not mistaken. So just Angelina Love's the only one with championship experience. So
if with the Knockouts title.
Yeah.
If this match comes down to Roxy and Trish Adora, I'm going to hate myself.
You better be picking Roxy, damn it. It's Texas through and through.
I don't know who to pick. I don't know who to pick. No, you will not force me into this corner, sir. I conflicted enough, sir.
Seriously though, real quick, Allison Kay never won NWA, or wasn't she in Impact for a little bit? She never won.
Oh, he means with the four who were in the finals, semifinals.
Yeah, but I mentioned like of a major.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
was looking at the whole thing. Gotcha. Yeah.
No, just of the final four.
Of what's left. My bad.
Yeah. Kay won the NWA World Women's Title.
She has, right?
And she won the Knockouts title when she went by Sienna.
Right, but you're just talking about what's left. My bad.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Good.
All right, on to a little bit of wrestling news. Obviously, we mentioned earlier some of the no-compete clauses that are expiring as of today. We mentioned CJ Perry, a.k.a. Lana, Ruby Soho, formerly Ruby Riott, Santana Garrett. Adam Scherr put something out around noon today teasing that his name might be like Titan. He just put hashtag Titan. Don't know. He was formerly Braun Strowman. And, of course...
No, he's just got signed to be the new left tackle for the
We're winning the Super Bowl if he's on our offensive line. That's all I'm going to say, because we can use that.
You know what?
I got that guy and Taylor Lewan blocking for Derrick Henry.
When he does the pulling guard, he just does that train thing from WWE, and he just...
If he's blocking for Derrick Henry, we're winning the damn Super Bowl. That's all I can say.
I'm not sure who's bigger, but anyways.
Yeah, anyway. So, also, Buddy Matthews, formerly Buddy Murphy, which, while he's had the promos involved with AEW, it's looking more and more like he is signing with Impact. And a lot of rumors are that Adam Scherr, I'll just say formerly Strowman, is also on the way to Impact Wrestling as well. They seem to be two biggest names Impact's going to be pulling off of these releases. So they could be showing up, and Scott D'Amore apparently teased it when he was at a baseball game. Somebody caught a video of him saying that. So it's potential that we could see them showing up as early as Thursday on Impact on Access TV.
And like a lot of people, I've said it a million times. Yeah, not everyone has to go to AEW, and that's fine. There are tons of doors open right now, especially with this Forbidden Door swinging back and forth. They can just go to Impact and still show up on AEW in 2 weeks anyway. But I like the idea of them going somewhere where it's not a minimal roster by any means, but it's a smaller roster where they will be noticed easier, and the matches they can have would just be tons of fun. Buddy Matthews and Sami Callihan immediately is the first thing I thought of. I was like, that's a joyously wonderful, violent occasion.
Yeah. Matthews and any wrestler in Impact, just about. I mean, yeah.
I would love to see him and Chris Sabin.
Yeah.
Right. Oh God. I mean, Adam Scherr too. I guess maybe you start off with Titan versus Morrissey.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
There are these guys versus Jason Alexander. And
oh my God, Alexander and Matthews, yes please.
Like I would be like, what's the pay-per-view? Like, what's the Impact Plus thing? I'm in.
Yeah. They're showing up just in time for Bound for Glory, which is in October too. So whatever they're going to be involved with, they can build right into that. So
Bound for Glory might be just a massive show at this point.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm so including that video they showed, flashing every other promotion's logo. It's like, this is gonna be a massive show. It's like this, everyone who said who don't watch Impact, if they play this right, I bet they watch it Bound for Glory.
Yep, I think they're slowly just waiting for the mood to die down off of All Out, and they're gonna be pitting the promoting for this very hard.
Which is fair. I think everyone, after CM Punk maybe was like, yeah, let's let the CM Punk thing happen first, and then we'll go back to promoting our show.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know I missed last week, and I don't remember the timing of this. Did y'all mention, because I don't see it on the news here, the Inspiration Tour?
Yeah, that one came out a little bit after we did. So all they've said is that they, of course, the Inspiration Tour, formerly the Iconics, are getting set to return on the road. So it sounds like whatever visa issues they've had are done. They're going to be traveling as a team, getting booked as a team. Mike, do you think Impact is still the landing spot for them?
I think in the end, it looks like they might be hitting some indies and some kind of Comic Cons, maybe just to kind of get back out there and kind of get their name out. But I think in the end, I mean, it makes the most sense. I mean, they could, like you said, they can go AEW either, but I think Impact is a real solid place for their characters and to kind of rebuild themselves and kind of flesh out who they are again.
Yeah.
You know, you obviously don't want to be an exact copy of the Iconics, but they're also just so naturally funny together, and they're naturally heelish at times with the way they act. I assume you're going to be very similar to that, but you know, fleshing it out more as Cassie Lee and Jesse McKay, you know, as opposed to their former names.
And I think the key word there too is the fact they said it's a world tour. Impact right now, the major companies and Ring of Honor for that reason too, are the only ones that allow them to still work independent dates. Right. And I think was a big reason why Buddy Matthews wanted to go to Impact too, because if you worked at AEW, he was stuck with them. You know.
I was gonna say, well, they also could be showing up at NWA because after Saturday, they have the women's tag titles now.
Right.
Yes.
And I would personally celebrate for a number of reasons at seeing them versus the Hex.
Hope they beat the Bellas to those.
How many F-bombs are we allowed per show?
It's just one.
Just one? Okay, here's my one. Fuck you, Mike.
Fair enough. I deserve that.
All right. Well, you already used your F-bomb, so you can't use your F-bomb on this. So what is about to appear on your screen if you're watching this, next to Tommy and below my picture, is the brand new NXT logo. You guys ready for this? And you guys have already seen it, I hope.
Yes.
But here
is
it is.
Is it on the screen right now?
It's on the screen just now, yes.
Okay, so when did NXT get moved to Nickelodeon?
Damn! Same!
Like, I just have, like, is the face going to pop up and tell me what's next on Nick Jr., or how is that working? Yeah, I have a younger sister. I know about Nick Jr. and all those shows.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Gullah Island. That's what, okay.
Hey, Gullah Island was one of the best shows of all time. I don't fight anybody.
Oh my god, that theme song is just always.
Hey, now it's Paw Patrol, and the movie was actually pretty funny. I gotta say, as a parent, Paw Patrol movie was actually pretty good.
My brother has toddlers, and he said they actually like.
Yeah, Paw Patrol movie is pretty funny. It's like you're a dog. I don't want to be saved by a dog. You're in shock, so I'm not gonna take that personally, which is pretty funny. Brad says, I prefer Jesse and Cassie to Impact for those titles or NWA. Now that NWA has tag titles, yeah, like we just said there. But the NXT logo, yeah, this one is like somebody just throw some tie-dye art and let's throw a logo out there. I don't know. Yeah. It doesn't scream developmental territory for me. I don't know. Oh, breaking, Brandon Bina just says, Kira Hogan confirmed for Casino Battle Royale at All Out. There you go. There's another name they just added. So,
thanks for the breaking news.
Yeah,
she's another person really rolling the dice on herself. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. NXT logo. I don't know. It's where are they going with this?
I'm very mixed. I kind of like it, but it's also like it's weird. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I will be in.
Help you.
I like that you're playing that up.
Look, I will be in if the new NXT intro is Shawn, Triple H, and Road Dogg in overalls throwing paint at each other and playing around. Then I'm all in.
Yeah.
And then that's how they get the logo behind them, but just like throwing paint at each other like it's a I don't know what. I don't even know how to describe that, but that's what I want.
I need to go back and watch.
They'll do it too.
I need to go back and watch that again where Tommy's talking to the logo. It actually looks so good on my end. I just got to say, yeah. So that is the new logo. They haven't debuted it yet. I don't think it was on TV today. I don't recall seeing it anyway.
I didn't watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been rumored they're going in some new direction with how they're getting talent. They signed a younger brother of the Usos recently.
Looks just like him.
Yeah.
Uso G's are strong as hell.
And as I understand it, I think he's the only guy that they signed that has some wrestling experience. They're looking for athletes. They're not looking for people with experience. Let's be honest. They're looking to grab people that they can mold into what they want and then make them reliant on them, so they're not going to try and go elsewhere. You know.
Yes.
That's really what it is. So. That's what. Yeah. Blah. Sucks. Anyway, all right, we'll move on to our 1 minute warning segment now. Mike, do you have something you want to talk about this week?
Yeah, it's really weird and out of left field, but yes.
Sure. All right.
Wait, isn't it the premise of this whole show?
All right, here we go. Real quickly, Brandon B. Ninja just said DX in living color. That's hilarious. Okay.
And now all I want is an episode where that happens. Now that's all I wish for now.
Only if Jim Carrey comes out as Vanilla Ice again. That's still one of my favorite moments ever in living color history.
Really
yes. He's really white. Okay, Mike, when you're ready, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Okay, so I'm going to combine a couple things here, but you'll get to my point. We've joked a lot about wrestling where we hear stories of WWE when they had a whole bunch of people signed that, they would always get told creative has nothing for them. And then, all of a sudden they're not showing up. They've been on the show for a couple weeks, and all of a sudden they're not on the show for a couple weeks. Cesaro, and it goes on. So after listening to sports radio for a long time, I think what WWE should be forced to do like a sports team is either before or after each show release like the injury report / roster. So they could just be like Cesaro, creative had nothing for them. JTG in catering. And you have to list all the people in your company and whether they were on the show, and if they weren't, what was the reason? I think that would be great, given all the stories we've been told. And also there's a lot of times where people just like Asuka's injured apparently.
I actually just saw something I
saw her arm in a thing, and I was like, "What?" That also kind of was like,
she had to go to the dentist to get her teeth.
Yes, that was the post, but she's sitting there with like her arm in this thing, and I was like, "What?"
Did she hurt it when she was doing one of her cooking things on her YouTube channel or something?
I don't know.
So,
injuries. God. You know how like Tim Duncan used to be listed as did not play
old. Yes, yeah.
Same idea. Just did not wrestle. We don't like them.
I gotta say, I like that in your.
Did not wrestle. We don't like them.
I want to put a blue dot over his face. I like how you, in your sample injury report, you mentioned JTG because for so long it was the joke. He might still be employed. We just don't know.
Yeah, that was a joke. But that might not be good because there might be those hiding guys who have just been there for years and are like, no.
No, I'm still here. I'm fine. I'm happy. Yeah. So.
I will bet you money there are guys who legitimately hide when Vince is coming, so he just forgets they're there, and they're like, damn.
Now they got to watch out for Nick Khan too, so because he's
They go stand behind the thing like they're part of catering, like they're literally the caterers. They're like, oh.
They dress like a member of the crew so that they don't, whatever. They look like an extra.
Like closets full of janitor outfits that those guys just wear, just go in the arenas.
Breezango got those obviously.
Yeah.
So.
See, that's why Tyler Breeze got released. They caught him one time with that left.
Probably what it was. All right, Tom, you ready for yours? Do you have something?
I am ready.
All right.
New Japan.
Ready, set, and go.
I posted this on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. I haven't posted on TikTok yet because I haven't figured out how to do it. I want a best of the 6-man tag teams right now. I want Chaos versus Shane Taylor Promotions. Someone photoshopped it. Someone made this and put it up. Shane Taylor posted it first. Shout out to Shane Taylor. And I saw it, and I was like, yes, absolutely. I want this to happen. I want Ishii, Goto, Yoshihashi versus Shane Taylor and the Sons of Savagery, Khan and Moses. Because these 6 guys have been proving 6-man tag team belts can be amazing when booked right. And I don't give a damn what people say about the pandemic and blah, 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 or this and that and such. Watch those matches and tell me that those 2 teams are some of the best 6-man teams you've ever seen. I'm not saying the very best because everyone has their own preference, but if you don't have them in your list of best ones ever, you're lying to yourself. Those matches are fantastic. They've been great title defenses. Give me what I want and let Shane Taylor be awesome because no one talks about him enough in my opinion.
Give me what I want. Agree that on Shane Taylor. Yeah, he's doing some great things with Ring of Honor, and I would love for Shane Taylor Promotions to take over the whole company.
But that's my favorite thing about Shane. It's like they won't give him. They're like, okay, I'll start my own faction. Wait. It's like
no.
Yeah. I'm gonna add another guy. Wait, we're getting a manager. Wait, we didn't say you could do that. I know. That's why I'm doing it anyway. Oh, you kind of got to do it now. You did it without us.
Wrestling has been great. recently, a lot of debuts and stuff, but this has all been a bit of a smokescreen for one of the greatest tragedies in all of wrestling recently, and I must say, and that is the fact that Toru Yano does not hold the King of Pro Wrestling Championship right now in New Japan, and it's really sad.
I don't know why I didn't know you were going to bring that up.
Nothing against Chase Owens, but, you know, here's my F-bomb. Fuck you. Toru Yano should be the King of Pro Wrestling, and yeah, you won because he was handcuffed. I get that it was part of some
Thanks,
gauntlet.
guys, we just got demonetized.
I get that it was he was handcuffed, whatever. No, Toru Yano needs to get that back. He is the true King of Pro Wrestling. I don't care what none of y'all say. He held on to that like all of 2020. He needs to be holding that by the end of the year to be the two-time King of Pro Wrestling. I'm so upset and sad about this, and if I'm the only guy that's mad about it, then screw it. I'll die on that.
You are, but I'm going to laugh if he gets it back by the end of the year, because do you know like the guys you said who hate him? It's like, do you know how many people are gonna get pissed? They were like, why is Toru Yano win 2 times with this stupid thing? What is the point?
I really, at this point, hope he wins it with like minutes to spare on New Year's Eve, so he ends up being the King of Pro Wrestling for 2021.
Oh, it's gonna be like the last show before Wrestle Kingdom, so it's gonna be like December 30th or something like that. It's gonna be like the last show. It's gonna like be like a 30-minute time limit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like 2 minutes. Like it's gonna be like 29 minutes and like 55 seconds. He's gonna get the win, and like you're gonna hear around the world people going, "No! We almost."
Truly nothing against Chase Owens. I just want Toru Yano being King of Pro Wrestling. That's just down to it. And I'm just so upset. I'm finally talking about it.
There is a new shirt Toru Yano has. I meant to send it to you. I did not yet. I'm going to send you the link after.
Please
after
do.
the show.
Please do.
You're going to love it. So.
All right. What's up?
Hey, real quick before we go, next week on NXT, apparently Ember Moon versus Kaylee Ray.
Ooh, interesting.
So that should be good.
That should be really good. Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
That happened.
All right, so what is going on this weekend? Here are your details for AEW All Out. Sunday, September 5th at 7 p.m. Central Time. The buy-in is at 6 p.m. You can watch it on Sunday. Most everybody's off on Monday, I hope. It's from the Now Arena in Chicago, Illinois. We'll be here in the U.S. on Bleacher Report Live for $50. Well worth it. Internationally, I believe it's available through the Fight TV app. But we'll get it on Bleacher Report Live here. The buy-in itself will be on YouTube and also on Bleacher Report Live for free. Check that out. This is going to be a great show. There's so much hype around this. I'm so looking forward to it. What's up, Tommy?
Real quick. Tyler Breeze has a new shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees. I was just checking. And freaking Danhausen has a copy of CM Punk shirt up right now. And yes, it's as stupid as you think. And yes, I'm very much tempted to buy it.
Wow. So that's what's going on this weekend. I'm so looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. As for us, our Twitter, CCG_WrestleCast. Let us know what you think of AEW All Out. If you're watching this, didn't catch us live, you can leave your match predictions here. Let us know your thoughts as well on All Out. We'll talk more about that next week when we recap All Out and preview Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor. Yes, big show. They're going to crown a women's champ. They have a lot slated going on for that. That's going to be a lot of fun to discuss as well. For those that said that September was not a good month to draw, got a couple companies showing you otherwise for sure. So thank you, everyone, for joining us, for live chatting along with us. We do appreciate it. It's always a good time to talk wrestling. Keeps us sane for a week, So, we're all looking forward to the Labor Day weekend as well. So, down here we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real. People are fake. Take care. Be safe this weekend. We'll see ya.
Bye. Bye.